really powerful. And then what it allows you to do once you've moved to this new era, if I don't need to know all the sources of my data coming in, and I don't have to know all the questions in advance I'm going to ask of my data, what opportunity does it give you? It gives you the opportunity to essentially reimagine your applications and rethink about how you use your data and what you use your data for. So if I can reimagine my applications, all of a sudden, not only the Center for Medicare, Medicaid with Obamacare, but the intelligence agencies, they can all think about their cause differently. And in fact, the intelligence agencies were one of the early adopters of MarkLogic technology. You think back to the post 9/11 era, what was the criticism? You had all the data, you couldn't do anything. You didn't detect the problems that were going on. And to some extent it's true. That was the testimony in front of Congress, that was the testimony in every international forum, was the whole notion of you had all the data and you didn't do anything. Well, a lot of the data was unstructured, and if it wasn't unstructured, it was certainly heterogeneous. Because what did Congress do? They said, oh, agencies, you should share information. But the current era of technology didn't allow you to share information very well. So MarkLogic became very common in intelligence agencies dealing with both the unstructured data but also the heterogeneous data. Just the same, the other early adopter, you'll see a lot of the names here, Wiley, McGraw-Hill, Newsbank, Press Association, publishing sector. What was the publishing sector facing 10 or 15 years ago? Digitize or die. They were in a mode of operation that said if they didn't figure out how to get their content to the web, then they were going to be in trouble. And getting your content to the web, if you think about how you do that in relational, chances are you pull up a document out of a document database or a document management system. So think about on your iPhones or your smartphone, if you ever got a PDF file. How fun is it to read a PDF file on an iPhone? You're doing this, you're scanning back and forth, you're going up and down, you're turning it sideways, you're doing everything you can. The fact is, all it's doing is bringing a blob of data back. In MarkLogic, we moved you from managing the document, the PDF, to actually managing the content within the document. So we became a standard in the publishing sector as well. And those were the three early adopters, mostly driven by unstructured data. More recently, our business is around reimagining your applications in traditional places. You see a lot of banking names here. You see audit and services firms here. You see healthcare agencies here. Lots of different fields where the data has become very heterogeneous. And it has a little bit less to do with the unstructured data and more to do with the heterogeneous data. In fact, somewhere around 50 to 80, well over 50%, probably over 80% of our revenue today is coming from dealing with structured data that's very heterogeneous. It's not coming from the massive unstructured data, even though we do that really well. And the reason being is we let companies create new applications, get intelligence out of that data, and then they can operationalize it, they can make it into transactions. And so we provide the full environment for them to really rethink their data and take advantage of all their data, not the subset of data that's just highly structured and very homogeneous.